Hey, last couple of games we've seen more production from you offensively. So what about your approach, if anything, has changed, and how does it feel to start seeing those hits falling?
Yeah, I mean, I've just honestly kind of simplified things and just tried to stay more with what I'm good at, which is the middle to the opposite side of the field, and just kind of closing my sights in on that. Coach Early and Coach Longley have been great with that. So just keeping it simple. When you're not going good, it's really easy to overcomplicate things, but I'm just trying to keep with my ABCs and keep it simple. So
what is it like going through those times where you're not going as good as maybe you'd like?
It sucks. Baseball's freaking awful. It sucks at times. I think no one realized how mentally tolling this sport is, and I think you see a team like ours that seems really happy and fun, which we are. No one sees when you're in ruts and you're in your own head, and you got teammates who are also in their own head, and it's just kind of a pile of everyone trying to figure stuff out. Like, that part sucks for sure, but it's also really fun. Like, that grind of finding it and going to the other side is probably one of the more rewarding things we do as players. So yeah, it's tough.
I know you're the ringleader of the shaved heads look now, but I understand that it started for you at one point last year. So speak through the backstory of buzzing the head.
Yeah, there was a warm sunny day in Gainesville, Florida, and we decided to lose 2 games out of 3 to the Gators, and I don't even know how I was doing personally. I think I probably wasn't doing good, just if I was going off baseball statistics. And it was like one of our worst series yet, and so I wanted to change up the mojo. That's kind of what the same thing with this one was. I just wanted to change up the mojo, so I did it last year. Sorrell did it. We had a few other guys do it, but this year we got like 15 guys to do it. And I don't want to force, because some people have really bad hairlines, and sometimes it won't grow back if you buzz it. So some of the guys that didn't, I understand, but there's also some guys with bad hairlines that decided to bite the bullet. So some real warriors in that locker room, no doubt.
Coach was talking about how you are playing through another torn meniscus. When that happened before the season, just what were kind of maybe the emotions of when that happened, and were you concerned that you may not have been able to play this season?
Yeah, I would say pain was probably one of the emotions I had / sensations. I also immediately I thought that I would just be kind of done for the season. So I took about an hour in that hot tub in there and just sat by myself alone, which I don't usually do. I usually can't stay by myself for that long. But yeah, it was sad. It was frustrating, all the above. But we saw doctors and we were able to figure out a way for me to keep going. So I don't know. I'm just inching through right now. I feel actually pretty dang good, considering we're already at SEC play. But I gotta make sure I'm in a good spot come playoffs, because that's the important time. So yeah.
When that happened, did you know immediately that it was torn, or did it just kind of feel like pain?
No, originally it kind of felt like I cracked my hand knuckle, like when you crack your knuckles. It sounded like that, but it was my knee, which I thought probably wasn't the greatest thing ever. But yeah, it was. I don't know. I didn't want to jump to any conclusions, but yeah.
When you got the all clear, though, just how relieved were you, and what's it been able to mean to you to actually be able to have played this entire season?
I haven't really thought about it like that, to be honest with you. I haven't really sat back and thought about it in a self-viewing sense. It's kind of hard to do that sometimes for me, but I guess I probably won't admit it until I'm done playing baseball, but I am proud of myself for being resilient. But it's just, when you're in a team sport like this where all you're thinking about is winning baseball games, it's tough to sit back and look at it in your own kind of personal point of view. So I'm sure that'll happen some point after baseball, but right now I'm just trying to win ball games.
You're a team leader in many ways. Just as this first month of the season has transpired, what do you feel like the identity of this ball club how has that developed, and what is it in your opinion?
Well, that's with any baseball team, it's kind of like people talk about last year versus this year. It's like you can't copy and paste any sort of identity or culture. I think the identity is something that in the beginning we all were kind of like, we got to figure this out together, because it's kind of a team thing. And I think when you look at that locker room, you just have a lot of guys who show up, want to work hard, and want to win baseball games. And it sounds really cliche, but it's hard to be able to do that in a sport, and especially in an NIL sport nowadays, where there's a lot of individual stuff going on. And in there, you have a lot of guys who want to work hard for each other and who want to win for each other. So I think that's just about all you can ask for. And it's easy when we're losing for people to see that that may not be the case, but a lot of outside people don't understand the game of baseball the way we do, and the way that we look at some of those losses and the way we played and the way we fought. And so I think that's the perfect type of locker room you could ask for. So pretty happy with
the
it.
leadership aspect, you've been through the league, the SEC once before, so what are you telling the guys like a Terrence Field II or a Sawyer Farr about to play their first SEC series this weekend?
Well, not telling Terrence anything. Not telling him a single thing. I don't want to jinx him. He's absolutely dominating right now, so I can't say a thing to him. Just kind of let him do his thing. But he's the type of guy where it's almost like he doesn't even care who we're playing. It's just kind of like he just shows up and he's him, and that's the beauty of the personality that he has in the baseball game, is that he just doesn't really care who's on the mound. It's almost like he doesn't know any better. He just shows up and he just balls out. That's who he is. But I think there's a lot of young guys who have, with the negativity that we've experienced this year, there's already been a lot of adversity in our mental and our physical and all that stuff. So I think everyone's just excited for it to get to SEC play where we can prove ourselves against good competition, because I think that's where no one's going to care what you did in the preseason if you dominate SEC. So right now it's about winning tomorrow, then it's about winning Saturday, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. It's just day after day, not looking too forward, not looking in the past, just focusing on winning the next day.
Notice Terrence has had some success, and he's one of the few still with hair. So how much of a correlation do you think his success has with his hair?
Yeah, that's a good question, Richard. I think, there's certain hair that just can't be chopped off just for personal reasons and team aura reasons. It's just like cutting off those strands and those dreads would just be such a bad look for us. They're too good. He does take off his helmet and kind of selly like all the buzz cuts guys do, which I don't like. I'm going to have a conversation with him about that. I don't like that one bit. But I think if he keeps hitting above 400, he can do just about whatever he wants. I don't really care.
So you guys took a field trip to Bluebell yesterday?
Yes, we did.
Yeah?
2 days ago.
2 days ago? What flavor did you get?
Well, I got mint chip, which is my probably all-time ice cream flavor in general. And then I mixed up and got rainbow sherbet. And no offense to Bluebell, but I just would not get that again. I kind of got that weird like tangerine sensation under my tongue, and I don't really want that with ice cream. I want more of like a chocolatey, savory taste, which I didn't get. So.
Are you a big ice cream guy?
Well, I mean, come on, man. I mean, look, I do have a little gut down there now. So I would say I'm like a 6 out of 10 ice cream guy. I'd say 4 out of 7 nights of the week I have a bowl of ice cream, something around there. So not terrible, but it's definitely a vice. You know what I mean? Something I'll have to work on once again after baseball. So we'll see.